is concerned, they had a young man step up last night, Cortez Forte.
Cortez Forte really played an awesome game last night. 21 points, 8 rebounds, 4 steals. More importantly, what he did defensively against Moline on the point of their 1-3-1 press was just to thoroughly disrupt their offense.
As far as Schaumburg is concerned, we talked about him last night. They've talked about him in Schaumburg for the last 3 years. He's a senior. He does it all. It's Mark Pankratz.
Yeah, Mark Pankratz is just a warrior. He gets after it all the time. He had 20 points last night in the quarterfinal game, 6 rebounds, 4 assists. He's the person that they want to have the ball whenever the going gets tough.
You take a look at Schaumburg and Lyons. We said they're very close. They know each other. They were able to scout themselves last night. As far as Lyons Township is concerned, they have things they need to get done. Their keys.
Well, I think for them it's very important that they control the tempo to the ball game. Schaumburg, we know, is going to attack them defensively. They cannot get into a track meet with Schaumburg. That's a very important key. Secondly, they play a lot of 1-3-1 zones, and sometimes that can be difficult to rebound from. They have to make sure they keep Schaumburg off the offensive boards. And thirdly, as I don't know what they can do about it, it'll be interesting just as a key to see how playing the last quarterfinal and only 6 players is going to affect their play against an aggressive Schaumburg team.
Well, the crowd now is starting to settle back a little bit. Gotten their food. They're back in here. They're ready to get going here for this next semifinal game. And as far as we are concerned, we are ready as well. Now, this is the 50th year of televised basketball here in the state of Illinois, and throughout the course of this afternoon and this evening, we will be bringing you some of those classic moments, so you make sure you stay right there. All right, settle in. It's time to get it going. It's the semifinals. Lyons Township and Schaumburg, the winner, to meet Thornwood for the state championship. This is the IHSA Television Network.
Well, the winner of this 56 tournament hasn't been determined yet. We still have 4 minutes and 32 seconds remaining in a close, tight ball game. 47-45, Carver over Centralia. Those are the Carver cheerleaders.
And those are the Lyons Township cheerleaders. Things change a little bit here in the course of about 34, make that 44 years. Welcome back to Carver Arena, everybody. We are ready. Well, almost all of us are ready here for the semifinal game to follow. It's hard to believe that somebody, well, you know what? Just resting right now, just getting it all set, because in about a minute or so, we'll get things going. Well, maybe it was a long trip for her. It's a long trip for these two schools, coming about 156, 168 miles, respectively, making their way here to Peoria. This will be their second game, of course, in less than 24 hours. Schaumburg and LaGrange Township, the Lyons Township Lions, if you will. These two teams, maybe at the beginning of the tournament, you may not have expected to see them here in the semifinals, but one of them will be playing for the state championship later on this evening against the Thornwood Thunderbirds. And of course, T-Wood, the 49-46 win over Morgan Park earlier on. We are about ready to meet our starting lineups here for the second semifinal, and for that, let's go to our public address announcer, Paul Herzog, here at Carver Arena.
The Saxons of Schaumburg. Good afternoon, basketball fans. On behalf of the High School Association, the City of Peoria, welcome to America's Original March Madness for today's Class AA semifinal game, featuring the LaGrange Lyons Township Lions, a record of 28-3, and the Schaumburg Saxons, a record of 27-3. Let's meet the starting lineups for this semifinal contest. At a forward for Lyons Township, a 6'6" junior, number 20, Jim Maley. At a forward for Schaumburg, a 6' junior, number 15, Tony Young. The other forward for the Lions, a 6'4" junior, number 40, Cortez Forte. The other forward for the Saxons, a 6'4" senior, 32, Scott Zolik. At center for Lyons Township, a 6'6" senior, number 50, Grant Johnson. At center for Schaumburg is 6'8" senior number 50, Ryan Walter. At a guard for the Lions, a 6'3" senior number 3, A.J. Alodi. At a guard for the Saxons, a 6'3" senior number 4, Mark Pankratz. The other guard for Lyons Township, a 5'11" senior, 25, Tom Scavuzzo.
Here we go, Greg.
The other guard for Schaumburg, a 5'9" senior, number 10, James Hahn. Head coach of Lyons Township in his 7th season, second at LaGrange, where he's 37-19, Conte Stamus. Head coach for Schaumburg in his 10th season, where he's 191-91, Bob Williams. No other state in America can claim.
Starting lineups for today's ball game, Lyons Township and Schaumburg for the Lions. These people are Iron Men. 3 of these starters last night played 32 minutes. 1 other played 31. Jim Maley had a down game for him last night, but Cortez Forty picked it up. It was Grant Johnson that hit 2 crucial free throws in the last minute. As far as Schaumburg is concerned, they will come at you in waves. They will probably play 10 different players in the first quarter. And of course, Mark Pankratz led the Saxons in scoring yesterday with 20 points. Tony Young, a huge effort with 17 points. He hit a big 3 to spark the Saxons in that win over West Aurora. Our officials here in this semifinal game, Clifford Bailey, Terry Murphy, and Connie Peer. And Bill, we talk about the 2 games last night. Schaumburg, obviously, they have their keys that they need to work on. They've got themselves a game plan as well.
Yeah, they're going to extend the court as often as they can. They're looking for turnovers in transition. They want to push the ball, and they want to score off of those turnovers.
Dave Bernhardt and Bill Hitt with you for this final semifinal game of the day. The Thornwood Thunderbirds relaxing in the stands. They are in the championship game. One of these 2 teams will meet them there. The Lions from Lyons Township will control the opening tip. Bounce inside, Scavuzzo to Maley.
Great back door. Again, Schaumburg's going to look to overplay, and they'll go back door against them.
James Hahn is the point guard. He'll give it off to Ryan Walter. Zolik is a 3-point threat. He gives it back to Hahn. Everybody will share the ball here, though the man with it right now, Mr. Pankratz, is the man that makes the show go.
LT is going to be playing a lot of 1-3-1 against Schaumburg.
And there is a weakness on a 1-3-1, and Tony Young finds it. And now here comes your full court pressure.
Yeah, they just are going. They're going to come at them in waves. They're going to substitute liberally. They're just going to keep putting the pressure on until if you're Schaumburg, Lyons cracks.
Conte Stamus, what a great job in 2 years at Lyons. They only won 9 games last year. Scavuzzo will break it up through pressure. A.J. Alodi, the rock to this particular team. The matchup is Fortes and Pankratz. Alodi, stripped by Pankratz. Hahn had Pankratz, finds him, baseline, off of Zolik's leg.
You know, it's interesting, again, just like last night, Pankratz started on Jamal Thompson. They've got him assigned to Forte in this ball game. Takes the toughest man often.
Now the Lions will go all the way with the Alodi. That's an offensive foul.
A little bit out of control on that. The Lions are going to look to push the ball. They just don't want to run every time down the court. They're going to take opportunities when they are given.
Opening moments of play here in the semifinals, the second semifinal of the day. Zolik hit 3 threes yesterday, not this time. Tony Young with the foul. Young sometimes has a tendency to get in some foul trouble.
One of the ways you attack a 1-3-1, Dave, is to get the ball down to the baseline, and that's what looks like Schaumburg's trying to do early on.
They clear out for Scavuzzo, and he'll just bring it up on high. Nice drop inside, and good hands there by Pankratz. He had Forte cutting in on the backside.
And they're going to run a lot of back doors, again, to try to relieve the pressure of the overplay in the wings.
Melody beats the count. Jim Maley with it. He had 36 points in their sectional championship win over Proviso East. They nearly get a 5 count there. Nice move, Forte. He'll shoot a couple.
Great jump stop on that. Got his body under control. Went up strong.
You always look for players to emerge in the state tournament. Cortez Forte comes in with a 12.6 points per game average. Last night, 21 points and 8 rebounds. And that was in the win over Moline.
Yeah, you know, he's raised his level. He struggled a little bit at the free throw line last night, and it's important for him to go up and hit a couple early at the line, get it some comfort zone there.
A little bit of a trap, and they back up. Pancratz, penetration, lean in. Cordy got a hand on it. Tony Young rattles it in.
Big shot from the corner. Almost had a jump ball on that penetration by Pancratz.
A 3 from Young puts the lead back on the side of the Saxons. Scabuzzo will give it up. Here's Pancratz on Forte.
Kind of lost the handle on that. Pancratz going strong to the basket.
Quickly, they slap on the full court pressure.
They're clearing it out, letting the guard take it one-on-one. He's really needs to lead this team. He's got to be under control, make good entry passes, and handle that pressure.
Maley will not get the roll. Hahn pushes. Pancratz, great feed inside to Walter. Yes.
Ran the court and looked to pound the ball inside. They're going to do that as often as they can on transition.
Schaumburg on a 9-1 run. Good hands inside from Walter. That one's knocked away. We have a timeout on the floor. This IHSA broadcast is brought to you by Country Insurance. Real people, real answers, real quick. And by the Midwest Dairy Association on behalf of your local dairy farmers. Ah, the power of cheese. Lyons Township out of the city of LaGrange in the southwest suburbs. Schaumburg out of the northwest suburbs of Chicago. A couple of old communities, both in Cook County. Lyons plays out of the West Suburban Silver Conference, and Schaumburg takes pride in representing the Mid-Suburban West. Those are the two teams here battling in the state semis. Right now, it's been Schaumburg here in the early going. That Lyon had a good look early on, but since then, it's been all Saxons.
Yeah, LT is probably rushing a little bit more offensively than they need to do. Part of that is due to the defensive pressure. They just need to execute their game plan, be a little bit patient offensively, and I think they'll be able to score.
The Decatur MacArthur Pep Band entertaining us here today at Carver Arena. Maley, leading scorer on the season, will turn it over.
Got himself in a jam, picked up his dribble in a bad place. Probably should have held the ball and looked to rotate it back out.
It's 4 turnovers now in the first 3.5 minutes for the Lions. You see Forte coming out on the point of that 1-3-1. Makes that pass tough right there. Extends the offense out just a bit. Hahn not a score, but this guy is. Pancratz can't get the roll. Good position for Melody.
Yeah, had his feet set real well and just didn't knock the shot down. LT might have to come out and challenge a little bit more with their zone.
Forte, a little fadeaway, tough shot. Maley will track it down. Jim Maley averages 5 rebounds a game and then get another turnover. Hahn one-on-one. Scabuzzo did his job. He stayed back nicely.
Yeah, he did a good job defensively. Probably on that you want to spread yourself out a little bit more. Take up a little bit more court so the defense can't guard you both.
Here come the first substitutions of the game for Schaumburg. Leaving will be Hahn and Zolik. They'll be replaced by young brother, freshman brother. You get a look at him right there. That is Zach Pancratz. Also Garrett Bruni will come in at a guard position. Zach, the freshman, with it now. He's been up all season long. In fact, Zach Pancratz, the 4th league scorer on this Schaumburg team. David Gibson into the ball game as well. He controls. So 8 players in the first 4 minutes here for Schaumburg.
LT's trying to keep that ball on one side, make it hard for them to rotate and find a scorer.
There's a score, Zach Pankratz. The battle will be won by the Saxons. And now substitution number 4 for the 9th player in the game. Brandon Reichel comes in for Schaumburg.
That possession gave you a little illustration. Didn't
Reichel on the inbounds.
Didn't quite get their bodies on him for the rebound. It's important to do that out of that 1-3-1.
The lob to Brandon Reichel. 4 different players in the scorebook, an 8-point Schaumburg lead. 5-second count will turn it the other way. That is the 6th turnover here in the first quarter, and Conti Stamus would like a timeout, a 30-second timeout. Bill, it can fall apart early in a game. Give credit to Schaumburg, but this is a great timeout right here by Conti. He has to make sure he gets things squared up here in a hurry, or else it could get ugly.
Here's what he's doing, I think. He's trying to get them to make better entry passes to their offense. They're picking the ball up too far away from the wing. The wings are being overplayed. The very first play, they went back door, got a basket. They're going to have to look to do things like that to relieve pressure.
He said Conti Stamus successful in 2 years. He was told, hey, take your time. When you come over here from Evanston, we know you had a great career at Evanston, 7 years at Evanston. Take your time. You'll be all right. He says, I'm not a patient man. I can't wait. Well, he's down here playing in his state semis in just his 2nd year at Lyons Township. Pankratz harassed by Elodie. Extending the zone a little bit here. Zach Pankratz. Got it.
Got away with that, dragged that back foot. Get back to that pressure all over the court.
Now 5 different players have scored for Schaumburg. A 10-point lead.
They need a good series right here. They need a good possession.
Scabuzzo penetration leads to a foul call. Foul call is on Garrett Bruni.
One of their strengths is getting the ball into the hands of their shooters. Let's see if they can do that on this out of bounds.
All right, here we go.
2:33 left here in the first quarter. Mark Pankratz will have a seat, replaced by Youngs. Scabuzzo found the underside of the rim, did not know where he was. They ran the out-of-bounds play exactly the way they wanted it, except for the final result.
And they just got it to him a little bit too late.
The anticipation, the steal from A.J. Elodie.
LT needed that in a real bad way. They needed to just know that the ball would go in the basket.
Gibson picks it up.
Extending that press a little bit.
Nearly another turnover. Young, he's had the hot hand in this tournament. Brandon Reichel creating havoc inside, and he will keep it at that end of the floor.
You know, if you're LT, you got to give up something when you play a 1-3-1. So they're giving up that baseline shot. You hope they don't knock it down. You can't give them second shots.
James Hahn comes back into that ball game. That last bucket by Elodie broke a scoreless stretch of nearly 4 minutes. We are at an 8-point difference right now. Schaumburg lighting it up from the field. The follow from Gibson.
Great pass underneath and got him on a push-off.
That will go as yet another turnover. That will be a second team foul against the Lions. 15-5, the early lead to the Saxons. Maybe you hear Conti Stamus in the background. Pressure him, pressure him.
Yeah, they need to get out, extend that. They can't allow the guards to pick their spots.
Johnson, the block on Hahn. Forte pushes. Schaumburg gets back.
Dave, right now, what Conti wants them to do is just settle down a little bit offensively. And you don't like to be down 10, but it's a long game. They got plenty of time if they'll just run their offense, be patient. good look from one of their scorers.
Would not go down for a Lodi. You know, as I'm thinking here, Bill, I'm not sure if they've gotten into their offense yet.
First play, their back door was great.
Yeah,
and after
exactly.
that, I haven't seen too much of it.
Hahn in traffic. Hahn again. The little guy keeping it at this end of the floor, and then gives it up. Lodi to the rack. And Young will pick up his second foul.
Two big plays by that Lodi on the defense. Great steal, and he does what you're supposed to do. Take it hard to the basket. Look to see if you're going to pass it off. They don't pick you up. Go to the lane.
Tony Young's second personal foul puts A.J. Lodi at the free throw line. A Lions team that has won 28 games this year will take out Grant Johnson momentarily. In the final moments here of the first quarter, Brian Potter will replace him. You're looking at who Conte Stamos calls the glue to this team. His senior, A.J. Lodi. A couple of free throws makes it a 15-7 Schaumburg lead. We're under a minute to play in the first quarter. Working the right side. Brandon Reichel calling for the ball. Pancratz draws the contact to shoot a couple.
You know, Schaumburg is doing a really, really good job of attacking this 1-3-1. They're bringing it down. They're stretching it in the corner, making them trap it there, and then they're going inside with Pancratz at the middle. That's where the zone is very vulnerable.
Art Pancratz, a guy that makes everyone around him better. It's a vague statement, but when you watch a player over time, you can just see he lifts his teammates to his level, and that's what Pancratz has done for the last 3 years.
He knows when to get his teammates the ball and where to get them the ball, and that's very important.
He's boosted the lead to 10. Scavuzzo working on Hahn. And a 5-second call with 14.8 seconds left. That is the 9th turnover of the half.
I think what we're going to see from Lyons at the second quarter is they're going to start running some screens to free that wing up. And they're just not being able to do it with backdoors and entry passes, bringing the ball down.
Gibson in the corner, clock winding down. This comes off the ball. Foul on Brian Potter.
Just trying to establish position in the inside, a little bit too much hands.
6 seconds left here in the first quarter. To Gibson. That was easy. And this first quarter has been all Schaumburg. They take a 19-7 lead into the second period. We'll be back after these words from your local stations.
Oh, hey, we're back at Carver Arena. LaGrange Lyons needs a little boost, so we're up here with the fans getting them going. This is the best part of March Madness right here. You guys are jealous, I know. Back to you, Dave.
I am duly impressed, Lee. Now what I want to know is, can he keep this up for another 3 quarters?
He's out of breath right now, I guarantee it.
In fact, I do see the paramedics heading up that way. Well, if he can do something for Lyons, Conte Stamos would be most appreciative. They trail by 12 at the end of the first quarter.
I don't think right now you're going to see LT do too much other than try to extend their defense a little bit and be more selective in running their offense.
Brandon Reichel with it on the left baseline. On, back to Pancratz. Zolik, as we said, he is the big three-point threat for Schaumburg. Loads it up, knocks it down.
Great patience by Schaumburg there. They just moved the ball, rotated it, looked for an opportunity to get it to their score.
We have played 45 seconds into the second quarter, and 8 different players have scored. Schaumburg right now in a 7-0 run. Elodie tries to counter that. Instead, it's Maley in and out.
Got away with a little bump there. Got a good look. They just got to start hitting some of those.
On the skip, Gibson, 3. Kept alive, Gibson will take it the distance.
They're just having a real hard time rebounding right now. Too many second shot baskets.
The state semifinals will have more here on the IHSA television network. The culmination of the high school basketball season in Illinois will come tonight, and it will come your way. Consolation game at 6:30. Morgan Park will be in that one against the loser of this game. And then the big one, the state championship ball game at 8 p.m. And between those two ball games, we will feature the Country Insurance three-point showdown as well as the slam dunk contest. We will take the winners from Class A and AA, pair them up, and make it happen. So a great night of basketball here on the IHSA television network.
Coming out again with that full court denial pressure, making LT work for everything they get, getting it up.
Inside Johnson, he only took one shot last night. He took 2 from the free throw line to put his team in his semifinal game. He'll get the first bucket here in the second quarter for Lyons.
It's good to see him go inside with that. It was a little shaky, but it got the job done. LT's out in a man-to-man right now, playing a little bit of a, give him a different look.
Pankratz eyes that defense. Each player pretty much right now checking out who's on me. And here's the matchup, Forte and Pankratz. We go up top to Elodie and Hahn. Inside, great feed inside to Brandon Reichel from Mark Pankratz.
Defender got froze, made a good cut, and Pankratz saw him and got the ball right where he needed it.
4 assists yesterday for Pankratz to go along with his 20 points and 6 boards. They have to get Maley on track. He knocks it down.
Froze the defense, came to a good jump stop, and put the ball in the basket.
Margin at 15, 26-11, early moments of the second quarter. Both these teams played in the quarterfinals last evening. Nobody guards him. Gibson will not get the roll.
They're throwing a little junk defense there. It's kind of a combination zone man-to-man. They're going to guard the shooters and leave the other kids open right now.
Johnson, one dribble and then picks it up. Well, Pankratz and 40 is an interesting battle going on. Whistle on the floor, a 30-second timeout called by Lyons Township. Well, and actually what that did, Conti will allow Bob Williams on the other side to bring in a wave of players. I believe we're going to see 4 new players coming in for Schaumburg. And do you think some of those Lions are tired? These are a bunch of fresh white jerseys there.
It just plays right into Schaumburg's hands to be able to bring in those fresh recruits and extend the defensive pressure the way they've done so far. LT is just a little bit slow on everything they do. Part of that is just trying to get in sync. The other part could be a little bit fatigued from last night.
Fresh wave of players in. It will be an inbound play underneath their own bucket for LT. We'll go to the perimeter. Elodie around Zach Pankratz. Zach the rebound. Another freshman into the ball game is Craig Reichel, number 40 for Schaumburg. So 2 freshmen on the floor, but this is a senior leading the charge. One thing about Mark Pankratz, he is not fast. He has a level of quickness, but he changes his speeds. He flows and then he accelerates and then backs off. I would guess a very difficult man to guard for that very reason.
Yeah, that, and I think he's physically very strong and makes him hard to guard underneath.
Zach Pankratz wide open.
Again, I think LT is deciding they're going to have to spend more energy guarding their shooters and giving some other people some looks.
To cut into a 15-point lead, and it will go.
A great backdoor cut by Maley. The ball's a little slow getting there, but he was strong going up, got a good roll, drew the foul.
You'll see Maley flying in right there and gets the roll. So the Foul is called, the 15th foul on the Saxons. It will still be an opportunity for Maley. Knocked down a three-point play. 76% free throw shooter. Both these teams, good free throw shooting teams. He has 7 points to lead the Lions.
In a little triangle and 2 is what they're running here.
Loose ball. Elodie tries to swat it. And where was the ball?
Elodie took a knock on his head when he went down after that loose ball. Looks like he's okay.
His thought was, I'm going to dive for the ball, and as he's diving, he's thinking, I'm not going to be able to get it. I'm just going to try to knock it off the leg of somebody in a white jersey, and bottom line is his team has the ball.
Schaumburg is still making LT run their offense too far away from the basket to be real effective.
Maley, tough shot. Scoreboard clock was frozen for several seconds. Now it's on the move, but play continues. So a few extra seconds here for Lyons, maybe to give themselves an opportunity to catch up. We've reached the 4-minute mark now of quarter number 2. It's a 26-14 lead for Schaumburg, and a foul as Elodie made his way to the bucket.
What they're trying to do, Dave, is they're trying to look for seams in that defense so they can penetrate, and they need to look to kick that ball after they do that.
Next foul on Schaumburg will put Lyons on the free throw line. Hahn will come in, replacing Mark Pankratz. Maley elevates. So does Forte. Neither one will go. A silly foul there by Maley.
Yeah, that's a frustration foul, I think, for Jim. He just missed a shot he thinks he should knock down, and then made a second mistake.
Midway through the second quarter, here's the AA state semifinals. Thornwood, a 10-point deficit. Into the fourth quarter, they end up defeating Morgan Park 49-46 to punch their ticket to the state title game.
Pankratz is out of the game. They're back in their trap.
Good shooting for Schaumburg at 48%. Lyons, every shot has been contested. That's why they're knocking it down at just that 31% clip.
Scavuzzo's going to want to clear out the court, just bring the ball up. He needs to just bring it up a little further to make a shorter entry pass.
The give to Forte. Nice shot. Cortez Forte, his first field goal of the day.
Good break to the ball. Quick move to the basket.
Penetration from Hahn. The kick out. Zach Pankratz. Gibson was on the baseline.
That's a good look for Zach. He just didn't put it down. That's the kind of shot they're looking for. I'm watching the backside of LT zone, and they're just doing a much better job rebounding right now, boxing out.
They'll look to cut into this double-figure lead, and you know, really the way the pace of this game is gone, Lyons would be thrilled if they can go into the locker room underneath a 10-point deficit.
Yeah.
Here's Forte. Nice rebound, Johnson to keep it alive. Elodie will get a chance to go to the line.
Dave, you're exactly correct. They want to go in there. If they can cut this down to single digits and go in on a little bit of an upbeat, that'll be good for them.
We're down by 17 points at one point here in the second quarter, 26-9. So it's a 7-0 run. And Elodie can make that a little bit more.
Yeah, if you're Coach Williams right now, you're getting ready to put Pankratz in, stop the bleeding a little bit.
This has been a quiet 8-0 run, hasn't it? I mean, they've just worked and just solidly brought themselves back into it.
Yeah, there haven't been a whole lot of turnovers that have resulted in these points.
In fact, they have maybe finally gotten to their offense. They've gotten in the good looks from Maley, the good looks from Forte, and we have an 8-point game underneath 3 minutes to play here in the first half. Feed inside Walter. He doesn't shoot often, but when he's that close, he's not going to miss.
Yeah, just overpowered, came down to the block, overpowered Maley, and went strong to the basket. That possession, I think, is a big one.
Stop the run. Puts the lead back to 10. Forte gets a pick and goes glass in a roll.
Okay, now for both teams, this is something they want to do it right. If you're Schaumburg, you want to go down and get a good look, try to get back to that 10-point lead under 2 minutes. And if you're LT, you want to make sure that you can contest every shot and not give them anything easy.
(28-20). That's the Schaumburg lead. Gibson to Hahn. He had Zach Pankratz on the baseline. There's contact, no whistle. Young forces it up, and any one of a number of blue jerseys could be whistled for that one.
Well, that's what a zone will do. You just converge to the ball. They did a good job there. They just didn't keep it out of his hands.
The foul goes against Maley. He has 2 personal fouls, as does Alodi and Scabuzzi. On the other side, Young and Mark Pankratz with 2 fouls each. Ryan Walter, his 5th point of the day. Walter comes in right there at that average, 4.9 per game. There you see it.
Strong rebound, good position.
Cortez Forte, a 6'4" junior. Feed, Scabuzzo, Alodi.
Great look, nice left-hand layup.
It's a 7-point difference. Numbers in Schaumburg's favor. And a rebound to Forte. Lyons battling back from a 17-point deficit. One thing about Lyons, according to Coach Conte Stamus, is we don't panic.
No, they were trailing a good Proviso East team and just kept battling back until they ultimately won the game in overtime.
Scabuzzo, a 3. Maybe not the best spot for that one.
No, that's not the shot you want at that time.
Baseline Hahn, he looked for contact, he got the whistle.
Got a body foul there.
There becomes that one moment, isn't it, when you're driving a baseline like Hahn, the smallest man on the floor, where you just think, you know what, I'm not going to score. This ball's not going to go in the basket. I have to have something good happen to me on a whistle.
Yeah, I think he made the penetration looking to pass off, and the big people weren't down there, so then he elevated and got bailed out a little bit.
James Hahn, the 5'9" senior, is the emotional leader of this team. This team has not lost in 19 games that he has played. It's been 19 straight wins now for Schaumburg. He talked about it yesterday, the injured knee. He rehabbed, injured again at the beginning of this season. Said, I'm not going to go through surgery. I'm just going to get it out. There's a torn ACL in there, or at least at one time, a stretched collateral ligament right now. He's had a broken nose, 6 stitches in a head, an ankle sprain. And when he's in the lineup, they don't lose.
Yeah. He's just a little Evel Knievel-ish, huh? You know, he struggled a little bit the first half, but he came up real big last night, just doing what you described.
Under a minute to play here in the first half. You see the 8-point difference. Forte elevates now. Where was the foul? Oh, it was on the floor. 1-and-1 here for Forte.
Hey, Cortez Forte has a great first step. He beat his man. He's been beating his man to the right, gets his feet underneath him, goes up strong to the basket.
1-and-1 for Forte. He's made 3 free throws today. A free throw here would make it a 6-point game. How about that?
Well, you got Pankratz on the bench with 2 fouls. I think Bob is playing the percentages. If he can go up by 6 or 8 and have 3 fouls for Pankratz to use in the second half, he's willing to make that sacrifice.
Walter looking on the offensive end. Keeps his own shot alive. Schaumburg looking to score. Gibson into the paint. Here come the Lions, but not too fast. A foul called in the backcourt.
A little bit patient, a little bit sloppy at the same time. LT's tightening up their defense just a little bit. With Pankratz out of the game, I think they just have a little bit more of a comfort level than they have with him in there.
Bob Williams A contrast in coaches today, isn't it? Bob Williams, you see from Schaumburg, calm, relaxed, arms folded. On the other side, we've seen many looks at Conte Stamus, very animated, very much into it. Bailey will come out and have a seat here in the last 20 seconds. He'll sit down 2 personal fouls.
You know, Dave, the only difference is the camera can show the outside of Bob Williams, not the inside. It looks just like Conte's inside, I guarantee you.
Chris Green had just entered the game at the last dead ball, and he gets the free throw to drop. A little bit of teasing on the rim.
Got a great roll on that. You know, Scavuzzo's out with 3 fouls, and if they can get into this half and save this lead or cut into this lead another point or 2 with Scavuzzo out, that's going to be big for LT.
20 seconds left, a 5-point difference. Zach Pancratz double team, and now back up top Hahn. Gibson. Shot freed up in the corner. Rebound Johnson. And right now Lyons will take it. Trailing by 17 points at 1 point in the second quarter. They are down just 5 here at halftime, 30-25. Let's go to Lee Hall.
All right, thanks. Thanks, Dave. 30-25, Bob Williams here at the half. You guys had a big lead, and they were able to get back in it here at the half.
Yeah, we got a little foul trouble, so we had both Pancratz and Young on the bench, and we turned the ball over a couple times and gave them some easy baskets. That kind of got their confidence back. They've gotten a little bit of a roll, but we feel pretty good because I think we've worn them down a little bit. It's, you know, we're up 5, and so that's a pretty good thing. I think we've made them play a little bit full court and tired them out a little bit, and they've got a little bit of foul trouble. We're a little bit deeper, so I'm hoping that, you know, through the course of the second half, that wears them down a little bit. You know, obviously, you'd love to pull away and have a great lead, but we, you know, a good team like Lyons who's here, you know, they're not going to, you know, lay down and die. They're going to come back and they're going to compete, and we got to be ready for a great second half.
All right, Coach. Good luck second half.
Thanks.
Bob Williams, Schaumburg head coach. Back to you guys at the table. Dave?
Thank you very much, Lee. And of course, as far as Bob Williams is concerned, yesterday he went into the locker room down by a point, but it was his depth, and he knew it at the time. He referred to it here. It was his depth that wore out West Aurora yesterday. Maybe the same thing today here with Lyons.
Yeah, if I'm Bob, I'm a little bit more worried. I think you never like to have a 17-point lead early and lose it no matter what, especially before half. I think one thing that attributed to their big lead was the fact that they were really hurting LT inside. They were getting a lot of second shot baskets, and they were very strong going to the glass. LT, on the other hand, went with Pancratz and Young out of the ball game, just seemed to be a little bit more confident offensively, and they were starting to get better looks.
And we will get a good look at the second half coming up. We've got a good one here from Carver Arena, 30-25. Schaumburg over LaGrange Lyons. And we'll be back after these words from your local station.
And welcome back to Carver Arena, downtown Peoria, 30-25 our score. The Schaumburg Saxons leading here at the half over LaGrange Lyons. Spot the Dog from the Portland Fire. The WNBA is back out on the court and revving things up. It's March Madness. Here's Mr. Spot.
go now. Here we go now. Here we go now. Here we go. Here we go. Now listen. Some of y'all might know this, and some of y'all don't. Some of y'all might get with this, and some of y'all won't. But listen, let me clear my throat. Oh!
All right, Spot of the Portland Fire, the WNBA. We are joined courtside. I can't believe how small a world this is. This is Meg Williams, the former Meg Joyce of Peoria, Illinois, Academy Spalding grad, 1980. Meg and I worked together at the Beverly Theater in Peoria. I roomed with her brother at Illinois State. Tommy Joyce and I, Tommy, if you're watching in Chicago, get your fanny down to Peoria sometime, will you? It's a small world. I'd hate to paint it, but it's got to be fun for you to be back here at home and watching your husband's team do so well.
It's awesome, especially this weekend, St. Patty's Day. My family, we're having a blast down here. Makes it great. Basketball and St. Patty's Day, you can't beat it.
It's a Joyce family reunion. Of course, you guys lived here for quite a while, and your dad was manager of the Drury Lane Theater, right?
Yes, he still is, and then he managed Cornstalk Theater down here for a long time. So we have a lot of friends and family back down here.
Everybody knows your dad, Tom Joyce, here in town, and they probably know your uncle, too, Bill Hughes. I thought we'd see you at the Richwoods game yesterday. You've got a tie there, too. He used to be the principal.
Yes, he did, and he's retired now, though, so he's out of town for this weekend, though.
So the green is for St. Patty's Day. Yesterday it would have been for Richwood. So let's talk a little bit about coming down here. You guys were down here a couple of years ago.
Yep.
Does this make all the sacrifices that you have to make as a basketball coach's wife worthwhile?
How do you know that? It sure does.
I've followed sports.
No, he's got a great group of kids. They work real hard, and they put in a lot of time, but it's very well worth it. To see the success that they're having right now is great.
How long you guys been married?
16 years.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. And how many kids?
We had 3 girls, Megan, Kelly, and Riley. Woo!
All right, say hello to everybody in Peoria.
Will do. Hi, everybody in Peoria. Thank you.
That's little Maggie from Peoria rooting on her Schaumburg Saxons. They lead by 5 here at the half. We will be back with more March Madness from Carver Arena after this local break. See you, honey.
Thanks, son.
Bye.
One of the great things about March Madness is you never know what you're going to get. Spot on top of the backboard. He's not going through, is he? I did not know that. He has been bouncing around all afternoon long. He's been taking shots from everywhere. That may be the most impressive thing I have seen him do. I'm Dave Bernhardt along with Bill Hitt. Happy you've joined us here for March Madness from Carver Arena. Great semifinal ball game, Bill. You've got yourself a couple of teams here that are very evenly matched. We'll take a look at the halftime statistics. A 17-point lead has been cut down to just 5. And as we take a look through these totals here, Schaumburg has shot the ball well, but it's at the free throw line that Lyons has had to get back in the ball game, and they have.
Yeah, a little bit of a difference. If you would have shot these halftime stats a little bit earlier in the half, you would have seen a great disparity between almost every statistic there. But Lyons in the last 4 or 5 minutes of the second quarter really started to do a better job with their offense, shot the ball a little bit better.
Nobody has really taken control here as far as scoring is concerned. A.J. Elodie, we talked about him being the glue for Lyons Township. He has led some of it charge, but a nice balance there between the 3 people for Lyons that have to have that balance. Elodie, Forte, and Maley. On the other side, you're looking for a name there, Mark Pankratz, in terms of maybe big numbers. He had big numbers last night. It's not there yet for Mark, but he was able to sit down there for a couple of minutes with foul trouble.
Yeah, I think sometimes as a coach you make a decision. I'm going to save him for the second half. This ball game may go down to the wire. I want him to be able to play freely. With 3 fouls to give, I think he will be able to do that in the second half, and it's certainly a different game when he's on the court. You know, you look at Spot up there. Sometimes that basket seems so small, but we saw, you know, pretty big animal go through that basket, so we know the ball well.
Speaking of an animal, let's now go to the sidelines and our Lee Hall. Lee?
I'm still trying to recover from being up in the LaGrange crowd. This is Megan. She's the Schaumburg captain of the cheerleaders here. Tell me what you guys are going to do for us here.
It's a cheer. Go Big Red.
Go Big Red. All right, you guys are doing a pretty good job. Your team's winning.
Thank you. Yes.
All right, go get them. The Schaumburg Saxons now in interest of equal time and in keeping in the good graces of the FCC. We've got Megan of Lyons Township. You guys need to cheer a little harder. You guys coming back, but you're still down 5.
Yeah, we're trying as hard as we can, you know.
I know you are. I know you are. You going to do a little cheer for us?
Yeah.
Okay, what's it going to be?
Lion, let's go, let's go.
All right, all right. Township Lions, and we are at halftime. Second half action coming your way from Carver Arena right after this local break. All right, we're courtside with Conti Stamus, Lions head coach. Coach, down by a bunch there, you guys showed some resilience and came back.
Well, our kids do have mental toughness, and we got off to a slow start. A lot of it was due to Schaumburg's real good pressure defense, and offensively we weren't very efficient, and they were a little bit tougher inside on the offensive glass too, but our kids hung in there, and now we're only down by 2 possessions, so if we come in and play a good second half, I think we'll be okay.
All right, Coach, good luck to you. Love the coat. Love the coat. 5-point deficit here for LaGrange Lions. Let's go back to Dave. Sorry, Dave, there you are.
Thank you very much, Lee. As we take a look at first half highlights, Mark Pankratz, he always figures to be in the middle of one way or another.
Look at, he brought all that traffic, kicked it out, found the shooter.
Staying the same way with the Saxons. This time it's the big guy inside, Ryan Walter.
Yeah, early in the ball game, they did a great job of getting that ball into the paint and exposing the weakness of LT zone.
Another big game from Forte here in the second half, along with Jim Maley.
Yeah, they'll need both of those kids to produce for them. Forte has done a great job so far.
We'll be back from Carver Arena right after this. The boys Class AA semifinal from Peoria, Illinois, Carver Arena. And happy you could join us. I'm Dave Bernhardt along with Bill Hitt. And the Saxons from Schaumburg saw a 17-point second quarter lead dissipate down to a 5-point advantage. This, Bill, you like to say it. We've talked a number of times, but these first few moments are going to be so crucial for this whole second half.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. The first possession or two for both teams is going to, I think, go a long way to determine the outcome of this game. 19 points for Schaumburg the first quarter, 18 for LT the second quarter.
Ironmen on the floor for Lyons Township. They've had one substitution today. Forte's first shot will not go down. The rebound comes off to Scott Zolik.
That was a pretty good look. You might have wanted to look to get it in a little bit more on that first possession, but it was a good look. He just didn't hit it.
That defense has become a little bit more extended here throughout this game. It was sitting back a little bit more early on. Young, wide open. Snags his own board. Turnover.
The strength of that defense is you can pick who you want to trap and when you want to trap them. And offensively, it just confuses you.
Scabuzzo. Pankratz was right there to get a hand on it. Here comes Mark Pankratz. Numbers in Schaumburg's favor. Zolik once, no, twice, no. Young. Got it.
LT cannot on transition. They gotta find people, box them out. They cannot give him 3 looks. That time was a pretty well-run break. He just didn't go up strong enough with it.
Basically, a 4-point exchange. Here's a steal by Zolik. He got a pick from the official, and he takes advantage.
Again, you're talking possessions. First 2 possessions, not real good ones for LT. Schaumburg puts 4 points on the
11th turnover of the day leads to 2 more points for Schaumburg. The lead quickly up to 9. Scabuzzo uses the dribble. Bailey angles his way in.
Great step to the basket. Saw everybody, went up strong with the ball.
Pankratz looks inside. Walter posting up there. They don't want him. Now they get it to Walter. Works on Johnson. Back out Hahn. And gets the roll.
Hahn does not look to score a lot, but that time he had an open lane. They rotated the ball to him, and LT's kind of daring him to shoot right there, so he just takes it in, hits that easy baby jumper.
Man-to-man, of course, by Schaumburg. Forte shakes free from Pankratz and knocks it down.
Real athletic move, good first step. Pankratz slipped a little bit on the coverage, takes him to the paint.
Lyons hanging tough. Zolik 3, got it. Scott Zolik. He hit some crucial ones yesterday. He has 2 more today. He has 8 points on the day. It's a 10-point Schaumburg lead.
You know, defensively, you work so hard, and then they shoot it from so far. It's kind of frustrating, but good look on Schaumburg's part.
Bailey creates space and scores.
They got to figure out a way to stop them. Offensively, I think they're starting to untrack themselves. They're attacking the basket a little bit, getting the ball into the paint.
Saw that 3 by Schaumburg. Zolik helped them out a little bit. 3 of 13 now as Lyons still looking for their first 3-pointer. And Zolik hits another.
Dave, he did the same thing last night. You know, he's a shooter. He gets that first one. Gets that first one to go in, and that second one seems to be automatic.
Foul called. Saxon fans like it. We have a timeout on the floor from Carver Arena, and we'll be back after these words from your local station.
Tournament, but to win it. They have the basketball. They have the lead of 52-51. 15 seconds remain. And we should know very shortly who will be state champion for 63.
One of the truly classic moments in state of Illinois history. Anthony Smedley from Carver will check on that later as the Saxon fans check out their team leading by 11 with 4:26 to play here in the third quarter. But a key foul there as we went to break. The foul called on Tom Scabuzzo. That's his fourth.
Right, and Conte Stamus has made a decision to keep him in the ball game with 4 fouls. It's a heady move. It's also a move he probably has to make. He's the floor leader, and they need him out there.
Saxons from Schaumburg with the ball in the 11-point lead. They led by as many as 17. Young. Rim not kind to him there.
Forte's doing a great job defensively on the boards, keeping them in the ball game defensively right now.
That is his 6th rebound. But Maley will give it back the other way.
You know, you just have to get that out of your mind. If you're Jimmy Maley, go out there, guard your man. You're going to get another chance to do something with the ball.
Zolik open for another. Yes! Count it! Scott Zolik has bottomed out 3 3-pointers here. In the third quarter, he has 4 for the game.
Got a foul underneath the basket while the ball was in the air.
Tony Young with the foul. It is his 3rd personal foul. And as yesterday, our public address announcer here from Carver Arena, Paul Herzog, said, a line change now for Schaumburg as they bring in 3 new players. But how about Scott Zolik? Bang, bang, bang from 3-point range.
Did the exact same thing, I believe, in the third quarter last night against Aurora West. And again, it's so debilitating defensively because you work so hard and then someone sticks one in about 25 feet from the basket.
Lyons Township battling up against a 14-point deficit. Backdoor cut of Lodi. Scabuzzo got him the ball, but Pancratz gets the rebound.
That's good defensive help inside from the big men for Schaumburg. They rotated good, made that a difficult shot for Lodi.
Finally, the inbound to Garrett Bruni. He was one of the new players that had come in. Bruni, of course, saw action in the first half as well.
What they're doing now defensively is trying to keep the ball out of Pankratz's hand. It's that simple. They don't want him to have it because he hurts them every time he does.
Reichel left wing to David Gibson. Ball got into Pankratz's hands. 40, nice job, just swatted out of bounds.
LT's going back to that man-to-man, just trying to do something that will create a difference defensively.
3:17 left here in the third quarter. 45-31, the Schaumburg lead.
Let's see if they get the ball back to Pankratz on this inbounds play here.
Instead, they go to Brandon Reichel. We have a couple of Pankratzes on the floor right now. The freshman, Zach, and now the senior with it. That's Mark. To Gibson. Schaumburg 3 of 4 in the second half. I don't have to tell you who those 3 were from. I can tell you that one was from Zach Pankratz on the inside.
Nice curl there, just went strong to the basket. They're getting good motion into their offense.
A 5-point halftime lead has ballooned to 16. Alodi. He'll go to the line.
Nice strong move to the basket. He got a little bit too close than he would have liked to, and had to shoot over some big people. You know, if you're LT right now, you change defenses, you don't know that that's going to work any better than the 1-3-1 that you've been doing, but you have to try something different to just change something and see how Schaumburg reacts to it. So far, they've reacted very well.
Those 2 free throws for Alodi puts a stop to an 11-0 run by Schaumburg. They still have the ball in the 14-point lead. A push off the ball could be Zach Pankratz.
real little thing, Dave. You got Pancratz, who's obviously being guarded very, very closely by Forte. He's doing a good job on him, but they're not switching off of him. And so now what Pancratz is doing after he makes the entry pass, he's going away, setting a screen, freeing up someone because Forte doesn't want to leave him to help on the cutter. That's how the cutter's getting open in the paint.
Scabuzzo will bring it up. He's playing with 4 fouls. Again looks inside. Finds Maley. He has 13 points.
When they run that back door, they've been pretty successful. They just haven't run it enough.
Pancratz along the baseline. Forte with the rebound.
Good look up.
Maley able to stop. Pump in. He will not score, but he'll get a chance at the line.
Maley made a great play just catching that, not traveling, and to get it up on the glass on the shot was very athletic.
And here we go, just quietly creeping back into the game. They were down 16 moments ago. They could use a couple of free throws here. If they can get them, it would be a 10-point game.
Conte Stamos said that his kids were strong mentally, and we've seen that so far. They're going to have to maintain that same composure and then hit a couple big baskets and get some stops.
An 11-point difference. 2 minutes to play in the 3rd quarter. This, the state semifinals. Consolation and championship games to follow this evening, beginning at 6:30. It will be Morgan Park against the loser of this ball game in the consolation game, and the Thornwood Thunderbirds playing for the state championship against the victor of this one. Pancratz used that right arm a little bit to create some space, and he ends up going to the line.
That's a set play that they run. They go into a 1-3-1 set. They look for a double screen to get a shooter open, and then if that's not there, they got Pancratz isolated on the left side for a one-on-one. They ran it beautifully.
He does so much more than what might show up in a scorebook, at least in this game. Last night, Pancratz led the way with 20 points. He had 6 rebounds. Today, that is just his 5th point. He has 1 field goal today, and yet his team is on top by a dozen.
Yeah, he is a pleasure to watch because he has great court awareness, and that's a very hard thing to coach. It's something that has to be learned, I think, over time, and he certainly has it.
Scabuzzo again, the good look to Maley.
Nice backdoor cut.
Not an easy pass to throw, and again, good hands by Jim Maley with 16 points now. He leads all scorers.
LT's a little confused defensively.
Bruni's shot went. It's a 3. They've not yet decided which way it's going. Well, now they have to decide, does that bucket count? The Schaumburg fans and the Lyons fans are across from each other, and you knew there was going to be a reaction one way or another.
Obviously, that's a big call, but it was the right call.
49-38. Double-digit lead is kind of a bugaboo for Lyons. They're able to get it to 5, and there's another entry pass to Maley and another bucket.
It's backdoor. When you have pressure on the wings, that's the most vulnerable you are.
Gibson tied up. You got to believe that Conte Stamos says, you know, if sometime in the 4th quarter we can be within that 6-7 point range, that's where we want to be. Yeah. He's won a couple of overtime games, and last night a game in the last minute of play, having trailed by those amounts that late in the game.
Well, most coaches feel that basketball is a game of run, and he just wants to have his.
The foul will go against Grant Johnson.
Did a great job running their out-of-bounds play there. Got the ball right underneath. He'd probably like to have that back because he should be shooting for 3 points instead of 2.
Freshman at the line, Craig Reichel, 6 feet 7 inches. He is the brother of Brandon, so we have a pair of brother combinations here for Schaumburg. Solid performance yesterday. Misfires on both his attempts here, and a chance to get this down to 7. Maley on the wing. tough pass.
Yeah,
he got lucky there.
Yeah, he saw him and just waited too long. Elodie was open. He needed to skip the ball across, but by the time he saw it, it was a little bit too late.
Scavuzzo. And nobody there. What a steal by Maley to Forte. That's huge.
Yeah, they got a break on that.
The turnover was going to occur at about the top of the key, and instead Forte ends up at the free throw line for a pair of free throws.
Tom Scavuzzo's mad at himself. He left his feet. Point guards don't want to do that unless they know where they're going to throw it. Again, that's something that a good player will work through. He'll just talk to himself now and be ready to pick up his man and play a good defensive set.
Hunter and Green replacing Johnson and Scavuzzo. Cortez Forte has just reached double figures with 10 points. 16-point lead is now down to 7.
You just need to be patient if you're Schaumburg, get the last shot. If you're LT, you don't want to do anything foolish and give them an easy look.
Now we go the other way.
If I'm Bob Williams, I'm saying, aren't you listening to Coach Hitt there? He said nothing foolish.
Green stumbling on the dribble. He'll have to hurry now. Maley to Forte to beat the clock. Does not go. So we'll head to the fourth quarter with Schaumburg on top by 7. Fourth quarter coming up after these words from your local station. 25 points.
Carver Arena, and part of March Madness is band music, man. This is Decatur MacArthur, the General's pep band. They got about 150 in their band back home. Nick and I are here. There's 40 of us here. We're grooving to a little jungle boogie. Right on. I feel it.
You are the man, Lee. You are the man. With Bill Hitt and Lee Hall, I'm Dave Bernard. Happy you've joined us here for this semifinal boys AA state basketball championships. We go to the fourth quarter. The Schaumburg Saxons leading the Lions from Lyons Township in LaGrange, 49-42. Jim Maley with 18 points for the Lions. And as you said during our break, Bill, where did he get 18? Well, 11 came in the third quarter. It was a quiet yet solid third quarter, 11 points.
Yeah, and I think most of them were paint shots, little curls and backdoors. That they just found him in the right places and he converted.
Saxons to have it to start quarter number 4. A state championship berth awaits one of these teams in 8 minutes. Shovel inside. Forte got a hand on it, knocks it away, and the Lions will have it.
That was a great pass inside by Pancratz that just not enough space for him to go up strong with it.
Maloney will kick it out. Scavuzzo. Maley with the offensive board. Great feet inside to Forte.
Great ball movement. Great ball movement.
We're back to a 5-point difference. Zolik. He knocked down 3 threes in the third quarter. A little bit long on that 2-pointer. Scavuzzo. With the foul, he is gone. Up, did they call it? Yes, it is. They have called it on Scavuzzo. His 5th personal foul. He leaves scoreless. Misfired on 4 field goal attempts. 3 of those being 3-pointers. They will not miss him from the scoring standpoint, but they will miss him from the dish standpoint. He leaves with 7 assists through 3 quarters.
They'll miss him all the way around. He's struggling a little bit with his shot, and that obviously bothered him a little bit, but defensively, he's the key to this team. He pressures the ball so well. He's their floor general. The last thing he did before the foul was make a great entry pass to Forte for a basket.
Using the allotted 30 seconds here to make the substitution. So the point guard is gone.
We're seeing an LT look that I haven't seen for a while. A little bit bigger lineup. They'll use Elodie in the backcourt a little bit more to handle the rock, I think.
It's a good day's work for Scabuzzo from the assist standpoint. The foul called on Ryan Walter, and Lyons Township will be in the bonus from here on out. They have made 14 of 17 free throws today. That's good for 82%. The line is where they would love to be. And that will be Grant Johnson there. Recall last night, this guy stepped to the line. He'd only taken one shot the entire game, and all he did was absolutely bottom out 2 free throws in a tie game to eventually lead his team to victory.
These free throws are just about as big if you're an LT fan.
It's a 3-point game. Lyons has come back from 17 points and 16 points to trail by 3, and their fans rise across the way.
Working man-to-man.
Pancratz cut off by Forte. Young penetration and a spilling out. And he'll track down his own rebound. Pancratz, the senior, will steady his team. Baseline drive, Young. Again, Tony Young stays with it.
Good, strong rebound by Tony. Got his body underneath him, went right back up for the ball. That's a big shot.
Young got a couple of offensive boards in that stretch. Aloni, the kick ahead, and a walk. Brian Potter walked, but Aloni kept it alive. We have 2 Saxons on the floor. That's Scott Zolik you're looking at right now.
Had a great play by Alodi to keep that ball, give LT an opportunity to shoot it, just couldn't find the handle.
Zolik being helped. Let's take a look right here to see where it came in. The collision, Alodi, oh, it looks like Bruni and Zolik may have collided on top of Alodi. They are still looking at Scott Zolik. Zolik on the floor, and this will give us the opportunity that this IHSA broadcast is brought to you by Country Insurance. Real people, real answers, real quick. And by the Midwest Dairy Association. On behalf of your local dairy farmers, the power of cheese. This is the IHSA Television Network. Scott Zolik has made his way off the floor down on the Schaumburg bench. He will be looked at very carefully. Of course, he is a key contributor. One of many for Schaumburg. It's a 51-46 Saxon lead. 6 minutes left. The semifinals.
Got some interesting matchups here. We've got Melee Garden Hahn defensively.
Alodi will pull the board. A.J. Alodi working up top. He finds Johnson for the score.
Well run, executed play. Great look by Alodi.
51-48. Hahn guarded by Melee. That is a mismatch size-wise of about 10 inches.
Jim's got good feet. That's guard him away from the basket. Not a scoring threat from out there. Should be able to help defensively with some other players.
Young and Alodi going at it. Forte and Pancratz. Back to Hahn. We've reached the 5-minute mark. Down low. Walter. He's got pinned underneath the bucket. That's a break for Schaumburg. Foul called inside on Johnson. That is his 3rd.
Yeah, that's a good call. When that ball goes down to the block there, it's hard not to foul someone if they move hard to the basket. What we saw Schaumburg doing on that possession, they did a great job of it. They're widening the court, running a lot of screens and movement to the basket, trying to just free somebody up for an easy basket.
You know, obviously, when you get down to the state tournament, so many things impress you with these teams. As much as you're impressed by Lyons and the way they've hung up, you have to be impressed here with Schaumburg. They have weathered a couple of storms. You have not seen any panic on their faces. They are playing this one solid game here, and they have themselves a 5-point lead. This is the AA semifinals. This is the IHSA Television Network. We'll be back. Great semifinal action here from Carver Arena today. Fans have been jacked all day long. In game number 1 earlier on this morning, Thornwood came back from a 10-point deficit in the fourth quarter to defeat Morgan Park 49-46 to put themselves into the championship game. And here we've had 17-point leads, 16-point leads for Schaumburg. Lyons has battled back. Right now, the Saxons from Schaumburg lead it 53-48. One of these two teams will be playing in the state championship game later this evening. That will be coming your way at 8 p.m. But before that, we have the consolation game starting at 6:30. And in between our two games tonight, the Country Insurance three-point showdown and slam dunk contest where we crown the King of the Hill, Class A versus AA. A great night of basketball right here in the IHSA network. We have 4 minutes and 45 seconds left. The bounce inside to Maley, and he gets it again.
Great entry, great pass on the back door from Elodie, and Maley just a big-time move to hang in the air to avoid the block.
20 points for Jim Maley. Pancratz goes drive. Young fires. Rebound Johnson. Walter make that Zolik on his back. Boy, the Lions fans starting to feel it. This seems so familiar territory to them. A double overtime win over Proviso East in the sectional finals when they were down by 7 late in the game. A 6-point difference into St. Patrick's. Lions came back and won that game in overtime. They trailed last night in the fourth quarter and won. They are down by 3, and it will stay that way momentarily.
They're going to put that ball in Pancrat's hand as much as they can.
Long arms of Maley on high. And this is Mark Pancratz. On around Maley. Rebound Johnson. Elodie looking up the floor. Tough shot. Connor, no. Young, one-on-one. Got it.
Big basket, elevated off the break and just put it in.
The lead back to 5. A little push from Hahn. Huge possession each way.
Yeah, LT probably wanted a little better look than the one they got there. Lodi pointing to himself right now after looking at Coach Conte. Just knew he could have got a better shot than that. Just needs to go down, hit the 2 free throws, make it a 3-point lead. Plenty of time. Pancratz is going to look to take over this game in the last 3 minutes. He's leading his team with 10 assists. He's going to either score or get the ball to the shooters.
2 key missed free throws here in the last 30 seconds. A 5-point lead in the ball for Schaumburg. Zolik had it deflected. The steal from Elodie. A.J. Elodie. To Maley. Hand check on Young. That's his fourth.
They need to play with him on the court, so he's got to be a little bit more careful. That was just a lazy grab, it looked like to me. Schaumburg, by putting him on the free throw lines, giving him opportunities to get into this game, cut that 5-point lead with the clock stop. We'll see if LT can take advantage.
That was the 10th team foul of the half. So every time Lyons will go to the free throw line, they will be shooting 2 free throws. Well, they will take out Young, replace him with Walter. We have 3 minutes and 7 seconds to play. And Maley has brought this back to a 3-point game.
The last 2 possessions, Dave, they've been trying to run some back screens to get cutters open to the basket. They've been close. They just haven't quite connected.
Pancratz lead inside to Walter.
That was an example of that back screen. They were close to making that 3-point play. Just another step. LT had to foul him to keep him from converting it.
6'8" senior. Makes it a 4-point game. Bob Williams in 10 years. 191 wins. He already has 1 4th-place trophy. That came 2 years ago. 2 free throws from the big guy. pressure never lets up if you play the Saxons.
No, they just want to make you work the whole court.
Lodi thought he saw something, got a break.
Yeah, he did a nice job on the backdoor cut. Help side defense came over on that play to deflect it. Maley had beaten his man, but the help side defender got in the way of the pass.
Here we go.
Maley frees himself from Zolik.
He's got a great step. Just a little head and shoulder fake, step the other way to create space and drained it.
Lyons asking for the stop. Each time, though, Schaumburg has responded. They'll take a timeout here. Saxons to take a timeout with 2 minutes and 30 seconds left. They lead it 57-54. Again, I was mentioning earlier, Bill, as much as you're impressed with Lyons, the way they've come back, you're impressed with Schaumburg, how they have hung tough, mentally tough. Neither team has shown, even facially, any signs of cracking here.
No, this has been a really well-played game. It's a fun one to watch because both teams are going at it tooth and nail, but they're doing it with a lot of composure. They miss a shot, they kind of get angry with themselves, but you don't see it. I think one of the things that sets them off is just the intensity to play with.
Each ball game here in the IHSA network, we like to honor our scholar athletes, courtesy of the Midwest Dairy Association. And for Schaumburg, we honor the man that just hit a couple of free throws, but he got this award by way of his academic accomplishments. Ryan Walter, a grade point average of 4.1, a class rank of 35. He's headed to Northern Illinois University. He wants to study some biology. And as far as Lyons Township is concerned, it's the other guy. He just hit free throws. Wait a minute. It's about academics, not about free throws, but congratulations to Grant. 4.75, ranked in the top 20 of his class. Going to study business at Notre Dame. Going to play a little baseball there. So on behalf of the Midwest Dairy Association, to both Johnson and Walter, we say, congratulations and the power of cheese to you.
These are going to be interesting 2 minutes and 30 seconds. You're going to see Pancrats with the ball as much as possible. They can't take the air out of it. They've got to attack.
Pancrats wins the race to the ball. He's on the sideline.
Cortez Forte made that defensive stop. He deflected that pass, and Elodie was quick to the ball.
This may be the first time, I'm trying to think back very quickly here, the first time the Lions has had the ball down by 3, a chance to get it underneath 3 points.
Yeah, I think you're right. They've been close, but never to that mark yet.
Remember, they lost their point guard Tom Scavuzzo, who fouls. A.J. Elodie has assumed that role. This is Maley. He has 24 points. He wiggles around Zolik. He comes up with a loose ball. And a jump ball. A block from Walter.
That looked to me like a great call. Got his hand on top of the ball. Maley did a great job to get that ball back.
On in, replacing Gibson. 2 minutes and 5 seconds left. Lyons Township trails by 3. They have the ball. Maley and Zolik, your matchup here. Maley makes it a 1-point game.
Jim has been able right now to beat his man with that first step and create space, and he's on a roll. He got on a roll in the sectional final and scored 36 against Proviso East.
Zolik. Hahn. Inside, knocked away. And the Lions a chance for the lead with a minute and a half to play. 15 turnovers now for Schaumburg. Let's see how costly this one is. Maley outside. Pulls up. Rebound off the hands of Young.
He had a good look, maybe not quite the shot he would want, but he had his feet underneath and he's on a roll.
Bob Williams wants a 30-second timeout for Schaumburg. Well, Conte Stamus, the head coach for Lyons Township, he has been there 2 years. He has come to know these players, and he says flat out, we don't flinch.
No, and both these teams, we were talking earlier about the composure. What makes these teams so good, I believe, is that they know their roles. Right now, Jimmy Maley is the scorer for LT. They're getting him the ball. Every time down the court, Elodie is looking to that right side. The same thing is true for the Schaumburg team. They know who they want to have the ball. They're getting them there. if I'm Schaumburg, what I'm looking for right now is just a real good possession. They don't have to take a shot, but they want to look to the basket. LT is going to have to eventually foul them. They want to be strong with the ball.
Want to find out an all-time record or see how your favorite team has done in its history? Well, then all you have to do is click on IHSA.org. 40 million visitors can't be wrong. We'd also like to remind you that any rebroadcast or reproduction of these broadcasts without the written consent of the Illinois High School Association is strictly prohibited. Again, we have 2 more games coming up for you tonight. Consolation game beginning at 6:30. Then we'll have slam dunk and three-point showdown finals, followed by the state championship game. Thornwood is in. One of these 2 teams will make it. It will take 60 seconds of basketball to decide the Thornwood's opponent. Schaumburg the ball, the 1-point lead. Zolik on the outside. To Pancratz. This comes away from the ball, and it's an offensive foul. A.J. Elodie went down in the lane. The ball will go to the Lions with 51.2 seconds left. They trail by a point. And actually, they'll go to the free throw line.
They're going to shoot 2. James Hine attempting the screens to get a teammate open. Didn't have his feet set and was called with a block. Now Bob Williams and Conte Stamus, they're both who do we foul if we need to foul? Who do we not want to see at the free throw line? Both coaches and the players need to know that.
We have a tie game, 57-57. This for the lead. Rebound to Hahn. 45 seconds to play. Pancratz has to watch for the 5 count, gets rid of it to Young. Hahn to Pancratz. The senior into the lane. A whistle. Clock stops, 27.8 seconds left.
Pancratz with a great drive, went strong to the basket, drew the foul.
A long road back for Lyons. This the first tie since the first quarter. Pancratz a chance to break it right here. He does. He is perfect from the line today. Rebound to Lyons.
Let's see if Conte lets him play, if he takes a timeout.
Into the hands of Maley. A basket would give Lyons Township the lead. Here's Maley on Pancratz. Pancratz cuts him off. Elodie. Penetration. Pulls up. Loose ball picked up by Schaumburg. Time running down. That's the game. Schaumburg will play in the state championship.
What an unbelievable ending to a game. You saw all the energy these kids bring to the court on that play. Just could not get that shot to go down and catch up to the ball.
Oh, baby. Schaumburg, a 17-point lead that was cut to 5. They boosted it back to 16. And then Lyons charged back, finally tied the game in the last minute, but a free throw from Mark Pancratz. A missed shot by Elodie, who right now is in tears. Will give the win to Schaumburg. Let's go to Lee Hall.
We're with Bob Williams. I don't know how you do it. You stand over here, you smile, you're wiping up stains off the floor with a minute left and a 1-point lead. You're just cool as a cucumber out there.
I don't know about that, but I felt like I had to do something. I feel like I didn't do a very good job of coaching in the second half, and I felt like I got out-coached a little bit. Our kids got a little bit unaggressive and weren't doing the things that we've practiced to do, and I couldn't get it corrected. So, you know, I felt like wiping the floor up. Maybe I did something positive. I wasn't real happy, but I felt like Conte Stamos did a great job with Lyons. They're really tough kids. We had them down early. They came back and competed, did the things that, you know, they needed to do. So they're a heck of a team. I feel very fortunate that we're playing a championship game.
You have to love your kids' toughness, though. In spite of giving up a couple of big leads, they were able to fight and hold on and do what they had to do.
Yeah, our kids believe in and playing defense and taking care of the basketball. And they think those things will get us a win against anybody. And you could see that at the end. We started second guess ourselves, but when it came down to game time, they got down and got loose balls and played defense and did those things. So I was real happy with that.
Congratulations, Coach. Good luck to you tonight.
I appreciate it, Lee.
All right. Bob Williams, Schaumburg hangs on 58-57. They're going to take on Thornwood in the state championship game here tonight. Back to Dave and Bill.
Thanks a lot, Lee. And, we have the contrasting emotions. You saw Bob Williams, just elated that he's playing for the state championship. And on the other side, while he's talking, A.J. Elodie passes directly by us, tears running down his cheeks. That, unfortunately for him, really is what high school athletics is all about as well.
Yeah, he played, as did all the players out there today, just with all the energy that they could muster, and they put everything on the court. And you're disappointed when you lose by a point in a semifinal, and he ought to be. But it was a great game.
Schaumburg will play for that state championship 58-57 win over Lyons Township. Now don't go anywhere. We have the slam dunk finals coming your way right here on the IHSA network. But first, we'll pause after these words from your local stations.